So at number one for the weekend, we got The Nun II at 14.7 million. That dropped 55% for 56.5 million total. At number two, A Haunting in Venice, that debuts with 14.5 million. At number three, you got The Equalizer 3, which had 7.2 million. That dropped 40% for 73.7 million. At number four, you got My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 at 4.7 million. That dropped 53% for 18.6 million. And at number five, you got Barbie at number five, 3.96 million, dropping 30%. And now it has 626.1 million total. So the key takeaways from here are The Haunting in Venice, that didn't get number one. The Nun II in its second weekend beat it. Mind you, these are still estimates, so by the time the actuals come out, we could see a swapping here. But A Haunting in Venice, that's the third film in the Kenneth Branagh, Hercule Poirot's franchise based on the Agatha Christie books. And we know that The Murder on the Orient Express, that did quite well. I think it opened to around 28 point something million. And so this is about half of that. It does debut a little bit above Death on the Nile, but that one was handicapped due to more COVID restrictions and stuff in that time period. So this is quite disappointing. It's probably because it really switched tones into more of the thriller and horror kind of vibes, and also dropping it straight after The Nun II, which is in the Conjuring universe, which is a popular horror series. I don't know why they would drop this movie the week after that. But The Nun II, that dropped far better than I would have predicted. I was expecting around 65%, not 55%. And that was due to Haunting in Venice kind of taking a bit of that market there. And also, I think with the Nun II, it wasn't really received well. I think it's around 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the cinema score was poor, so I just thought people would go see it first week and then drop out. But it's that September time, you got all these sequels to, kind of your low to mid-tier franchises that it's not much interesting happening in the box office right now. Barbie at 3.96 million, it's been in the top five ever since its debut. And it's at 626 million. I think that movie is really slowing down now. It won't get to 650, but it will keep pushing to around the 640 mark or so. Equalizer 3, I think, is the one that stands out amongst everything here in the September franchise time. 73.7 million. I don't think it has the steam to really go all the way through to 100 million. But it's dropping steadily. It's done pretty well so far. What comes next? It's still pretty quiet, but it is going to start to ramp up in October. You obviously got the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie. That one's going to be one of the most interesting box office stories, I think, potentially ever. Genuinely, it is. We've covered it here before. It's a concert film. It has, I think, over $65 million already in just pre-sales, which is one of the biggest in history. And it is a concert movie. And the biggest concert movie is, I think it's Justin Bieber's Never Say Never, which was around 73 million, or in that low 70 million mark. So I think the Taylor Swift Eras movie is going to beat that just in pre-sales along as we build up to that release. Obviously with Dune leaving, it does empty the marketplace a little bit, but yeah, I think it's still going to be quite a big last quarter of the year, and we just got to get through this slow September, which is currently happening. Yeah. Talking about box office though, and talking about one that's connected to the Barbie movie, it's Oppenheimer. The Barbenheimer phenomenon.